Hey everybody, Reefgrrl here. I was thinking recently how much I enjoy watching tank updates from people, and it's something I rarely do, especially since I got this new tank, the Reefgrrl XL425. So I thought I would try a series of, Point and Shoot Tuesday, where I'll do a brief update of the tank. I'll try not to ramble too much, and minimal editing. Might throw in some music, maybe cut out if I say a lot of ums and ahs, and as a way of documentation as well, because right now I tend to document in short clips that aren't organized, and when I have to try and find something, it's a nightmare. So if I do this, then every week I'll have kind of a snapshot of how things look. So let's do kind of a round the block tour. First of all, today I have a rotifer hatch, and you can see them on the glass. They were on all three panes, and I cleaned them off the other two, and all of the fish were going after them, and of course it's good food for some of the corals as well. So I'm super happy about that, because thriving microfauna is really good in a reef tank, of course. So starting over here, back corner, the red gorgonian does open at night. The clownfish are doing their thing here in the corner, and mushrooms are doing quite well in this area. So it must be the right amount of light and flow, and the green rhodactis there is now 3. My pink hippo pallies are slowly growing, not much light for them. The bullseye rhodactis, I'll show you from the front, it is doing really well. This kryptonite candy cane has exploded in growth. Love this chalice. It's slow growing, but check it out. I do believe that is encrustation. So it's finally off its plug and making its way onto the rock. The toadstool is in shed mode. So in a couple of days from now, it will probably be all cleaned up and wide open, ready to go. This green goblin Leptocerus has spread tremendously onto the rock in spite of being in super low light. My Sunny D colony, still on its own little piece of rock, still growing new heads, so that's great. And then we've got this Looney Tunes Cyphastria. I wanted to show you the back side of where it is spreading along the rock, so I'm very pleased about this because again, it's very low light. And this is my original candy cane, Calastria. It has survived hell and high water, and for a long time in here I was sure it was going to die, but just like the kryptonite, it has really shown an explosion in growth. Over here we have a really cool chalice. I'm not sure what it's called, but you can see that it is growing and encrusting on the rock as well. And here's a side view of my Goniastria. This thing also has had an explosion in growth. That noise was my dog rolling over and hitting the door stopper. So coming around the front here, the Space Invader Pectinia is it's amazing. It's doing so well. I just love it. Down here we have a marble Favia, which is also growing new heads. Now this Platygyra is struggling. It's getting white along the edges, kind of dark in this corner, so maybe hard to see, but I don't know what's going to happen with that. We've got the front view of the Looney Tunes Cyphastria, and a couple of pallies, not sure the name. And here's the other candy cane I have, the purple and green, and it was another one that looked like it was not going to do well, especially this area here. These two heads really struggled for a while. So something's going right in this tank. I'll show you what's going wrong in a few minutes. Those are my blue-eyed blondes, which against all odds seem to be barely hanging on. I don't do well with zoanthids in here. Pallies is another story, but not zoanthids. And here's the front view of the Goniastrea. It started on this rock when I put it in here a year ago with 4 heads, 4 eyes, and I haven't counted it recently, but it is really growing. Got some Fruit Loop zoanthids. Here's a stellata. Behind it you can see my Florida Ricordia. The orange ones that were getting beat up by my torch. They're holding on a little better now. And there's a front view of that bullseye rhodactis. It has really gotten big. And in front of it is a red mushroom. It looks like they're close together, but they're really not. There is my... Now, I have seen this called various names, including Holy Grail. This has gold and purple on the tentacles and green tips, and it expelled its zooxanthellae a while ago, not all of them, and I don't know what was wrong. It was during the elastic band debacle, so I think it's coming back. It's not very big, but it comes out every day, and I'm really crossing my fingers that it hangs on in there. At the back we have the purple Montipora capricornis. Now that thing has grown from something that's like maybe 1.5 inches long by 3/4 of an inch wide to this, and it was actually knocked off a while ago and I had to remount it, and in that process a couple pieces broke off and they're just behind that orange Yuma there. And they're growing, so that's great. Now the Season's Greetings, the green one, looks like it has fanworms growing in it, and it does. Those little spikes are actually fanworms. I thought at first they were vermeted snails, but they're not. A piece of that also broke off when I was remounting the purple one, and I put that piece down here, and it has a growing edge now. And I'm 7 minutes in, and I haven't even got past the corner of the tank. The problem I'm having with the tank at the moment is with SPS. This one is done. It was a blue tenuous. My Setosa is losing color. It's gotten a little dull. This Tort was green and purple. Now it's kind of a dark brown. The Strawberry Shortcake is hanging in there. It has not lost any tissue, but it definitely lost color. In fact, all of my SPS are losing color, and even the Cyphastrea is not looking as stunning as it once was. Try and get some focus for you. The red frog spawn, golden heart frog spawn I guess because it's yellow in the middle, is doing okay. Maybe this is a better angle. The bubble coral is loving life, just doing great. Pocillopora is doing okay, but the polyps are not extended as far as they normally would be. The Goniopora is down here, not doing well. And I'm not sure what the problem is, but I just have to keep an eye on them. That was the Ultra Goniopora, and I think it's pretty much toast. On the bright side though, my Citrus rhodactis has split. I believe there are now 3 on this rock. Could be just 2, but I'm pretty sure it's now 3. So that's good news. And then if we move over here, Stanley the Clam. He is doing really, really well and has grown. And when he retracts, you can see white growth bands all along the edges of his shell. So that's awesome. Gorgeous George is doing pretty well. He's looking fluffier every day. It's a slow process, but I think he's coming back. And of course Buster, the red brain, is just amazing. The Corky Sea Finger looks like it's going through a phase of lots of small polyps in and out. It hasn't been fluffy for quite a while. And this is not a plating Monty, it's an encrusting Monty. However, it is plating right now. And it's kind of lost color. It was a bright neon green, and now it's got a lot of brown patches, which are not algae. You can see up here the lack of color in my SPS. That digi up at the top is supposed to be a dark pink, and it's just, I don't know what's going on with that. My other plating Monties look okay, they look like they're growing, but the polyp extension isn't what it was at one time. The gold torch is looking really good. I think it's actually growing heads, so that's awesome. But when we come down to my bird's nest, not so great. This thing has not had good polyp extension for probably a couple of weeks now. Same as the Postulipora there. It's the second one I have. In the back there is a hairy mushroom, another piece of the plating purple Monty, some blue jeans Palithoa. My acans are doing well in spite of being kind of high up on the rocks. This is the rainbow acan I got from Fragbox, and it's kind of lost its rainbow color, but that's to be expected because I don't know what I'm doing when it comes to acans. Hopefully it'll come back. There's the giant green Yuma. It's holding its own. And my Duncan, the top opens up first and then the bottom, because the bottom's kind of in shade. Here we've got a Mystic Sunset Monty. Don't know what that gray stuff is, but it seems to collect on there. More Acropora losing color. I think the red planet, I don't know. The left hand side is toast, the right hand side has tissue, but I don't know. And I think this red digitata is done, but I'm gonna leave it there just in case it comes back. Then we get down here to my button scolie with a piece of sand on it. As always, looks beautiful. I think the coral that's doing the best in my tank right now is this cherry blasto. It's just amazing. And over here we have some orange Recordias dropping babies everywhere on that rock. My hammer coral isn't fully out yet because the lights haven't ramped up, but it's looking not bad. Then we've got the war coral at the back here, also doing well. And I'll finish the tour with my frag rack, which has been here for what? I don't know how many weeks, but I really do have to get going forward with what I want to do with those things and get them mounted because it's just ridiculous. You can see all the algae growing on there. So I think that's everything. Oh, Devil's Eye. There's the Devil's Eye Chalice. My fish are really active at the moment because I think they've seen me and they think they might be getting fed. So that's how the tank looks today, Tuesday, September the 18th, 2018. I now have T5 lighting added to my Kessel, and there will be a video coming out about that. I've turned them off because they drastically affect the color when I'm trying to take video. It's really washed out and very, very hard to capture. And then down in the sump, I have a new skimmer, and I'm going to be doing a video about that as well because the much hated Bubble Magus Curve A5 is getting destroyed. We do have a plan now for how we're going to destroy it, so that'll be fun. And I've replaced it with a new skimmer. I've also done a sump reboot so that a lot of things have got cleaned up, rearranged, and moved around. The fish are doing really well. And I do have a short video coming about the Aurora gobies. I added a pair of Aurora gobies almost exactly a month ago, and well, you'll have to wait and see how they're doing. So thanks for sticking with me. If you're still here, I really do appreciate you watching, and I'm going to continue with this series. Maybe the next one won't be almost 15 minutes long, I hope. But considering this is the first one and I've not done this in a while, I'm hoping that I can maybe ramble a bit less next time. So we'll see you on the next one.